Let's all agree today here that the world has changed. With 4 billion queries every day on Google, with 400 hours of content uploaded every minute of every day on YouTube, the world has changed. And who has changed the world? Well, many would say these guys, right? These digital natives, these millennials. I too have small children like Susan. At the height of my oldest daughter's argument for a mobile phone last year, she looked me dead in the eye and said, "But Mommy, how old were you when you got a mobile phone?" And I said, 27. You know, these natives are in two states. They are either awake and connected, or they are asleep. And indeed, for us at Coca-Cola, when they are awake, they have that mobile phone in one hand, and we want them to have an ice-cold Coca-Cola in the other hand. That is our goal. Much has been talked about with these guys. They are narcissists. They are self-obsessed. I mean, we can give them all sorts of definitions around what they are. In fact, this stat from Google will not surprise many people in this room, but it is staggering. 93 million selfies taken every single day. That's about 65,000 a minute if you do the math. I mean, it's just staggering and unbelievable. And indeed, when we took a swag estimate of all the content that existed for Coca-Cola on YouTube, and this isn't scientific, but we looked at all the content on YouTube for Coca-Cola, we found that 85%, so somewhere between 80 and 85% of the content there, did not originate with us, had nothing to do with anyone at the Coca-Cola company, right? The content and conversation around your brands is happening without you. So therefore, you must figure out how to partner with these consumers. You must figure out how to create a 1 + 1 = 3 scenario and outcome. And we truly believe at Coke that that is where the goodness lies. And of course, it would be hard for me to stand up today without telling you that that is the experience we have had with YouTube. When we collaborate and come together with YouTube, we create something better than I believe either of us could alone. Because the goal in this real-time, socially rich, content-rich marketplace is not to just do more content, it's to do more good. Right? We must hold ourselves to this bar and this metric as an industry. And of course, for Coca-Cola, we have stood for work that matters for a very long time. For us, work that we seek is brave, it's impactful, optimistic, confident, compelling, interesting, and ambitious. And that is the experience that we've had when we've partnered with YouTube. For instance, in the most recent Super Bowl, when we did our Make It Happy initiative, we came together with YouTube. What YouTube brought to the table were content creators and influencers who helped us expand our execution in all forms and types of content to make the point around Make It Happy, to make it a happier and richer world. When I told the person who ran that campaign for us that I was doing this speech, this was his very quote back to me. YouTube helped us turn one night into a 3-week event. And ultimately, that is the goal now, right? That you have enough content and conversation that creates engagement for consumers where they are, where they're spending time, and a dialogue and an on-ramp and a discussion with your brand. That's what all of us are looking for. If that is not compelling enough, I did talk to young Josephine Clark this weekend as we were lying in bed, and I was telling her about this conversation. Also, I have a report card too, Susan. And I happened to mention YouTube influencer Lily Singh that we did a program with in our Canada market, and she said, "I love Lily Singh." So this, of course, is very important. This is where these digital natives are spending time. It is where you can create a rich, authentic, real conversation and set of content for your brands that consumers want to engage with and spend time with. So you may be saying right now, "Thank you, Wendy, for the ramble. But what do you really want to say here?" What I really want to say here are a few things. By definition, the marketplace is changing. By definition, your marketing must evolve with the marketplace then. And so you have to evolve or die, essentially. I mean, irrelevance is a nasty word in marketing, so you must be relevant. The objective, though, in this changing marketplace stays exactly the same, right? Which is to engage your consumer, meet your consumer where they are. Clearly, I think we have established and can see that your consumers, these millennials and digital natives, these young adults, are spending time on YouTube. So meet them where they are in an authentic way. Again, as I said, the goal isn't more, it's more good, right? So do work that matters. This is important not only for your brands and company, but quite frankly, as members that are united through a common industry. This is important for the industry. Let's hold ourselves to a standard of work that matters. YouTube can help you experiment and learn. We have done this a number of times. The first call we make often is to YouTube on how to experiment, how to learn, how to expand, how do we go after something, how do we get there? And they will come to the table with new thoughts and provocations and ideas. And ultimately, let's be clear, if you're learning more, you're guessing less. That's a good thing for a marketer. And finally, to be unabashedly ambitious for your brand, right? I love Susan's ambition for YouTube. That's a shared on-ramp for us. We are very ambitious for our brands. Hers might be 10 years old and ours is 129 years old, but we can come together and have a shared ambition that ultimately 1 + 1 = 3. And we create an outcome that is far greater than any of us could. And you have to ask yourself, if you are not ambitious for your brand, who will be?